My name is Jeff Wright. I'm running for state treasurer. I want to be Connecticut's cash cop to protect your money because the career politicians are not.
Next, we're going to move on to our candidate for state treasurer. Some of you know him as the cash cop. Newington Mayor Jeff Wright.
Good evening, everyone. Evening, Jeff. How we doing? All right. There's a lot of enthusiasm here. You know why? Come on, say why. Why? Because you know what? We're going to take Connecticut back on November 2nd and lead Connecticut's comeback, right? You know how we're going to do that? How? We're going to elect Republicans. Because you know what? The Democrats that are there today in Hartford, these career politicians, they just don't get it. Before I get there, though, let me take a moment and tell you a little bit about me. My name is Jeff Wright. I'm running for state treasurer. Currently, I'm the second-term mayor of the town of Newington. In addition to that, because it is a volunteer job, I'm a certified financial planner. My wife, Marina, and I have been married for 15 years. We're the proud parents of 3 great kids. My son, Luke, who's 9 years old, my son, John, who's 6 years old, and my princess, Grace, who's 2.5 years old. The reason I'm running for state treasurer is very simple. Because I want my kids to have the same opportunities that we have, and I want my 3 kids to grow up in the state of Connecticut and to want to stay in Connecticut when they grow up. Because that's what's happening. I say that because what's happening right now is people are leaving the state of Connecticut in waves and droves. The good news is that, you know what? We beat North Dakota as far as it goes in migration. Really. The bad news is 48 other states are beating us. We're losing the best and the brightest in the state of Connecticut. In addition to that background that I told you about a minute ago, I also went to Marist College and I got a degree in economics. She's a 12-year incumbent. Number 2, quote, "If it ain't broken, don't fix it." End of quote. She really said that. Next, she says, you know what? When you got a good thing going, you don't want to throw it away. You want to think twice. And the third highlight, or top 3 quote she said in the first 38 seconds, that her campaign and her tenure as state treasurer has been about stability and fiscal discipline. That's what she said. It's about stability and fiscal discipline. Let me tell you, with all due respect to our current 12-year treasurer, Denise Napier, I disagree. Hartford is broken, and they've made us broke. They've got us as the state of Connecticut on the verge of bankruptcy. Let me explain. First up, let's talk about the state pension fund. The state pension fund is not just a concern for the retired state employees or current state employees or retired teachers or current teachers. It's a concern of every one of ours because you know what? There's an obligation to these folks. And if our pension fund goes bankrupt, we're all going to pay for it as taxpayers. There was a study that came out that Northwestern University did in June of this year. They said that, first the good news. The worst pension fund in the United States is not the state of Connecticut. The worst is going to go bankrupt in 2018. The bad news is Connecticut's pension fund will be bankrupt and have no money according to this study. In 2019, less than 9 years from now, our pension fund is going to be bankrupt. We have an unfunded liability somewhere in the neighborhood for the pension fund of $40 to $60 billion. I'll tell you what, that sounds like broken to me. Does that sound like broken to you folks? Yeah. Let's talk about another big problem that's come under the tenure of our 12-year incumbent treasurer, Denise Napier. July 30th, CNN Money Magazine reaffirmed Connecticut's position as the the leader of the per capita debt. That's not too exciting, is it? We have a #1 position where every man, woman, and child owes nearly $5,000 in state debt. Hartford, and a supermajority to pass a budget that's really not an honest budget. Actually, I've started calling the budget they passed in the last 2 years a bino budget. Does anybody know what a bino budget is? It's balanced in name only. Because if you got to go out and borrow money to, quote, balance it without raising taxes, it's not balanced. And every one of our state representatives and state senators from the 9th District and so many districts around the state of Connecticut have seen the taxpayer mail that's gone out in June and July. And every one of these Democratic state senators and state legislators have patted themselves on the back that they did such a good job for the last 2 years. They balanced the budget without raising your taxes. Does anybody believe that? No. No. So you know what? I'm going to go back to the quotes of Denise Napier just last week. She said, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Who thinks it's broken? I think it's broken. You think it's broken? Yeah. When you have a good thing going, don't throw it away. Think twice. Guess what? I don't think we have a good thing going. Do you? No. And finally, I don't believe the last 12 years under our current treasurer and incumbent, Denise Napier, has been the model of stability and fiscal discipline. Not at all. With those kind of problems and putting us on the verge of bankruptcy and our fiscal foundation crumbling, we're not going to be able to bring businesses back to the state of Connecticut. Entrepreneurs will not invest in this state. And guess what? If we don't get that, we're not getting jobs and we're not going to get Connecticut's comeback. That's why I want to go up to Hartford. I need your help because I want to go up to Hartford as the next treasurer of the state of Connecticut. Because you know what the state of Connecticut needs right now? We need a cash cop. You think we need a cash cop? Cash cop! That's right. I'm going to go up there. I'm running to be Connecticut's cash cop. You know why? I want to protect your money because the career politicians are clearly not doing that. So November 2nd, I want you to get out there and vote for Tom Foley. Vote for Mark Boughton. Vote for the next Republican, the next senator from the state of Connecticut, Linda McMahon. Vote for our entire under ticket. Vote for your state senator candidate. Vote for your state representative candidate. And don't forget, we need to get new Congress people done in Congress. You know what? Most of our candidates right now that are running for state office or something in the state of Connecticut, there's this program right now. It's called the Clean Elections Program. Most of the candidates at this point have qualified or raised the money they need to. I'm proud to say this just yesterday, with so many people's help in this room, we filed yesterday, and I hope to get qualified next week. And a lot of that credit goes to people in this room. But you know, we've got a few more candidates here tonight, too, that we got to work on raising some money for. There's a gentleman who's running for the 9th Senatorial District here. His name is Dominic Mazzacoli. He's a good man. He was the mayor of Newington for 6 years. He was a state representative for 6 years, and he's been away from politics for the last 12. He's my mayor. He was the guy that was mayor of Newington when I was growing up. I want everybody in this room in the 9th Senatorial District to help him. So with that, I want to wrap up. We've got a great team. We're going to get out there and win. We all have to work together. And guess what? My name is Jeff Wright. I'm running for state treasurer because I want to be Connecticut's cash cop. Protect your money. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Jeff.